In this video, we study paper number 14, Bioinformatics, Biostatistics and Economic Botany. In this paper, unit number 2 contain biostatistics. In this unit, first unit 2.1, which includes introduction, definition and terminology. In this video, we study these points. What is mean by statistics? Statistics is a branch of applied mathematics which deals with the collection, classification, analysis and interpretation of data. The word statistics is derived from the Latin word status, means a political state or government. Then what is mean by biostatistics? Biostatistics is a branch of biological science which deals with the study and method of collection, presentation, analysis and interpretation of data of biological research. Biostatistics is also called as biometrics since it involves many measurements and calculation. In biostatistics, the statistical methods are applied to solve biological problems. Basic understanding of biostatistics is necessary for the study of biology, particularly doing research in biological science. The statistics will be help in the biologist in two ways. First, to understand the nature of variability, and second, it helps in deriving general laws from small samples. When we study the history of these biostatistics, then one scientist, Francis Galton, is called as the father of biostatistics. He created the statistical concept correlation. Sir Galton for the first time used statistical tool to study differences among human population. He also invented the use of questionnaires and surveys for collecting data on human communities. This is nothing but the two scientists, Francis Galton and second scientist, photograph of these Weldon. These Weldon scientists, he used the term biometry for these biostatistics. There are four steps of these biostatistics. Means when we apply these biostatistics in the research of a biological origin, biostatistical investigation is carried out through the sequential four steps. One is nothing but a collection of data. Second step, classification of collected data. Third, analysis of data. Fourth, interpretation of data. Statistic is classified into two categories. First one is termed as a pure statistic and second is termed as applied statistics. Pure statistic is the basic statistics and it is further classified into four subcategories. First, descriptive statistic, analytical statistic, inductive statistics and fourth, interstitial statistics. Descriptive statistics. These are the statistical tools and analysis which describe and summarize the main feature of the data. For example, measure of center tendency, which includes mean, median, mode, as well as measure of dispersion, which include range, standard deviation, median deviation, etc. The descriptive statistics explain the characteristic of the data. They reduce the complexity of the data into simple and logical, which is easily summarizes. Second is analytical statistics. Analytical statistics deals with all tools in the statistics used to compare different variables. Analytical statistics helps to establish functional relationship between data. In them, example is correlation and regression. Third type is inductive statistics. Inductive statistics is the use of statistical tools to generate conclusions on the basis of random observation. And last fourth type of statistic is inferential statistics. Inferential statistic is the application of statistic theories to analyze the research problem. It includes very complex calculation, analysis, and comparison. For example, index numbers, statistical quality control, vital statistic, etc. Out of these four types of statistics, in our syllabus, descriptive statistics means the central tendency and measure of dispersion. These 2 points, these are included, as well as correlation we must know from these analytical statistics. When we study the biostatistic, we must know certain basic terms. That is nothing but what is meant by data, how it is collected, then meaning of population, meaning of sampling, sample. These basic terminology we must know. First, data. Data is collected as well as it is a collection of observation expressed in a numerical figures. In a figures of a numbers, we can obtain data from that experiments, from the survey method. Second, primary data. These data are collected directly from the field of inquiry for a specific purpose. Secondary data. These are nothing but a numerical information which have been already collected by some agencies for a specific purposes and are subsequently compiled from that source for application in a different connection. Third point is nothing but a population. It is an entire group of a people or study elements which include person, things or measurements which is having some common. That entire group is termed as a population. Then that population may be finite or infinite. Finite means if a population consists of fixed number of values, it is said to be finite. Means for example, all of you know that in a week 7 days these are coming. Means the number of days in a week is example of a finite population. While infinite means if a population consists of endless succession of values, it is said to be infinite, and which include the number of animals in ocean, because in ocean animal number is infinite. Therefore, it is an infinite population. The next one is the sampling. The technique of obtaining information about the whole group by examining only the part of the whole group is called sampling. There are two types of sampling. First is termed as a random sample. It is also termed as a probability sample. Second, non-random sample. It is termed as a non-probability sample. The sample, it is a relatively small group of selected number of individual or objects or cases drawn from a particular population and is used to throw light on the population characteristics. Next point is variable. Variable are the measurable characteristics which can be numerically expressed in terms of same unit. These are quantities which are capable of being measured by quantitative methods directly. For example, height in inches or centimeter, weight in kg or pound, marks in examination, it is termed as a variable. Then last point is application. Biostatistic is applied in various branches of biological science, but important means it is applicable in a research. Research is incomplete without the statistics. Every result which is obtained in that research, it need to be statistically validated. For a design of experiment, the methods of statistics, these are applied. Selecting the method for the collection of data is also important thing, and for that purpose these statistic is needed. Then For the deriving logical conclusion from the data, means number of methods which you applied on that biological data, the conclusion which is drawn from that experiment, these are when it become logical, when we apply these biostatistic on it. Then deriving single values from a group of variables, and it is only obtained due to the biostatistic. Beside this, second branch in which biostat is applicable, and that branch is a medical and pharmaceutical science. For checking the efficiency of a drug, this biostat is playing important role. The third branch is nothing but a genetics. All of you know that we study the genetics, Mendel's law, then Hardy-Weinberg law, that is the population genetics. In all these genetical section, where the experiments these are coming, that is a breeding experiment, analysis of a progeny. In all these experiments, the biostatistic is important one, because without it we cannot see the inheritance patterns of that genes which is takes place in that population. For the study of Mendelian genetics, the biostatistic is a very essential one. For the studying the genetic structure of a population, biostatistical method are very important one. As well as behavior of a genes in a population, means that relative frequency of a gene in that population is remain constant or it is a changeable one, which is studied in a population genetics. For that, this biostatistic is applicable one. And for the mapping of a chromosome, the biostatistic is also important one. Without biostatistical method, we can't map the chromosome, and therefore these are nothing but some branches which I shown here where the application of biostatistic is done. Thank you, student. Thank you.